Happy Tuesday, friends. If you're here in the United States, I also want to say happy Election Day. Today is Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020, and obviously this is a big day for the world. It is the US election, and I just want to say, no matter what your current political beliefs are, for God's sake, go vote. Every single vote matters. So if you haven't voted yet, please put your earbuds in and walk your butt to your nearest polling station, put your mask on, do the thing. Every single vote matters. Whatever your political beliefs are, you voting matters. Having said that, I actually just wanted to release a really short episode today in lieu of the normal types of episodes I put out, which are, long form conversations going deep with really interesting creators and entrepreneurs and thinkers. Today, I wanted to have something to mark the moment, not the moment of the US election, but actually that this episode is the 1-year anniversary episode of this podcast. 364 days ago, this show went live on the intertubes on Apple Podcasts. That was November 5th, 2019. And man, oh man, so much has happened in that time. It blows my mind. I can't believe that was a year ago already. So I wanted to take a second to reflect on the first year of this journey together. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for listening and coming on this journey with me. It means a lot to me. I absolutely love every single time I get an email or a tweet from someone who listens. I respond to every single one of them, and I just love it. Whatever it is that you have to say or whatever your thoughts are, I really enjoy hearing from you and making this journey that we're taking together. And that really was the intent of this show was, hey, let's go on this learning journey together. I'm not coming at this from the perspective of being an expert. I am here first and foremost as a learner. I want to learn and I want to find out, the premise of the show, Enliven. Most people don't know where that name came from. It came from this idea of, wow, wouldn't it be amazing if we had a world full of companies and organizations that made everything they touched better? And that idea was what I personally label an enlivening organization. And I think that's a beautiful aspirational ideal. It's something I believe in today, even more than I did back when I started this show. And it's something that I'm still pursuing and plan to keep pursuing for as long as I can imagine. And this show really was born out of a question of, wow, that's a really cool ideal. Is that real? Could that be real? What would it take to make that real? It was the idea of exploring, is there a there? And how crazy am I with this wacky idea of enlivening organization? And if there is something there, what does it take to do it? How do we make that real? And that's really where this show started. And what a journey we've been on together. We've had 28 incredible guests on this show over the last year, over 2,000 minutes of final produced audio, which is crazy to me. That's almost a day and a half straight of listening time. And I know some of you listening have listened to every single minute of those. I want to thank you so much for doing that. I do not take it for granted. And I really, really appreciate you coming on this journey with me. It really means a lot to me. Wow, what a year we've had in 2020, right? Everything from COVID and George Floyd and all the social justice work. If there's anything that 2020 has taught us, 2020 has really been a reminder of the fact that control is an illusion. And all we really have is the choice to show up. How do we show up? Where do we show up? Do we show up? What do we do when we do show up? What do we wake up and give our time and our energy to? That's really the choice that I think we all grapple with. It's something I think about a lot now is, what am I going to get up and do tomorrow? How am I going to show up in that journey? And I really hope that as I look to the next year of this podcast, that it becomes an even better resource for you, for all of us, for me in going forward. And to that end, I want to make an announcement that I'm going to be rebranding the show. As I've explored these concepts over the last year, I realized just recently there was actually a clearer and more direct way to express the central idea. What this is really about, maybe a more direct way to say it is that whatever we're doing, let's make things that matter. That's really what this show is about. I hope this show is and becomes a phenomenal resource for all of us to use our time well. Like I was saying just a second ago, at the end of the day, that's really all we have is how do we show up and what do we give our time and our energy to? And I believe that every single one of us is a creator and we all have something unique to contribute to the world. Every single one of us, I believe, wants to get up and spend our days developing and expressing who we are and bringing some bit of our contribution and our light into the world to make our slice of the world just a little bit better. We don't have to change the entire world. Listen to the most recent episode 28 with Rob Walling for a deep exploration of that idea of what is enough and what does having and creating enough mean as a creator, as an entrepreneur. Whatever you're doing, whatever I'm doing, all of us are creators. We're all makers of something, whether it's a product, a meeting, a team, the vibe in a room that people show up in, whatever it is, you're a creator. And whatever it is you make, I want you to use your time and your energy and your talents to make things that matter and bring a little bit more of your light into the world to make your slice of the world a little bit brighter. So starting fairly soon, you're going to see this podcast show up in your feed as Make Things That Matter. And it's going to have new cover art and a new title, but there is nothing else that's changing. You don't need to resubscribe. You don't have to do anything at all. It'll literally just be an in-place swap with a new name and a new cover art, but it's all the same feed. So there's nothing for you to do. I just wanted to give you a heads up that if you suddenly see in whatever podcast player you use that Enliven's not there and Make Things That Matter is, I just wanted you to be aware of that. Anyways, my friends, with all of that, I'm really excited to go on the next year of this journey together to explore how do we each make things that matter? What are all the tools, the resources, everything at our disposal to use our time and our energies well, to contribute something and to develop and express ourselves as we do that? And I just realized, actually, this is the first time I've done a solo episode. Every single other one has been with a guest. This is kind of interesting and fun. So if it feels a little bit weird, I am kind of fumbling through this. This is my first time doing this format. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear what the show has brought into your world over the last year. You can hit me up on Twitter, send me an email at andrew@enliven.fm. I'd love to hear from you on what stood out to you about the show over the last year, where it's finding you today, and what you're looking forward to in the next year. I'm really excited, and I look forward to our next year together. So with all that, my friends, it's funny. I used to sign off every episode as leave them better than you found them. But I think now I'm going to say, go make something that matters. Thanks, and I'll see you out there.